SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. Hi, welcome to SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're previewing Week 15 in college football, and we're talking right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, who's going to preview the SEC championship game right now, and it involves Auburn. And Joe Duffy absolutely frickin' nailed the Iron Bowl last week. He picked both the over and Auburn, and both those teams, of course, both those sides, of course, won. Joe, thanks for being back with us.
Thank you, Peter. Yeah, I think I went to bed at halftime because I knew Auburn had the game covered easily.
Yeah. You had a great week in our videos in college football. Did you do that well in college football at your site last week?
Yeah, we're having a great year altogether. College football we didn't do as great with our premium plays. Had a nice NFL weekend led by a 5-0 performance on Sunday, but it's been a great year, especially with Wise Guy plays above 60% in college and pro football, going all the way back to preseason, where we do very well in preseason football.
All right, that sounds great. You definitely have a lot of great insights and a great read on a lot of these games. Unfortunately, a lot of them don't maybe, have a huge edge on the lines, which is completely to be expected. Here we have Auburn -2, and the total's 58. This game, of course, played on a neutral site in the Georgia Dome. And, Auburn, that was a huge, high-profile, exciting win. So probably that's why they're being favored here. I would guess that, the public is a little bit enamored of Auburn, especially all the people who picked them to cover or win last game, which there were a lot of people who did that. I'm thinking that might be a little bit of an overreaction. I mean, you look at the defenses, right? Missouri's defense is maybe a little bit underrated. I mean, they haven't given up 30 points to anyone all year, and they played some good offenses. Georgia, Texas A&M, South Carolina. Auburn has given up 30 points a bunch of times this year. So I'm not exactly sure what I think of the total, but I'm thinking that maybe Missouri as an underdog has a little bit of value. What do you think?
No, if anything, on the side, I'm probably leaning towards Auburn. Okay. Now, Auburn has a couple advantages where they have a shorter travel, and as I've said, in neutral games in football or basketball, that's very important. They're only traveling 101 miles compared to 569 for Missouri. It shouldn't be a surprise since Auburn is a traditional, long-time SEC team. But on the other hand, the reason that I'm going to make my official play on the total, I'm going to go with the under because there are plenty of reasons to also lean towards Missouri. Auburn, not just that they have a miracle win in the SEC championship game. I mean, that was a game that could have gone into overtime, but in reality, they had back-to-back miracle wins against Georgia. They could have lost either one of their last two games. And we've said all year, and this is one of the reasons we've had a successful year, we like to use that margin of cover statistic or sweat barometer statistic, as some people call it. These are the third and fourth best teams in the country to bet on, according to that margin of cover. But all in all, similar to a game that we previewed before, they both have very athletic quarterbacks, but both defenses have been facing athletic quarterbacks in practice all year long. So I think both of the defenses are used to playing against these types of offenses. And with a pretty high total at 58, I do think that this game will stay under. It's pretty similar to one of the games that we just talked about that I think, both of the teams will run the ball a lot, eat up some clock, high total, and I think the defenses will have enough success because they see similar types of offenses in practice.
Both these offenses, have the potential to be very, very explosive, more than what we saw in the MAC game that we just previewed.
Yeah, no, that is true, but Auburn, 71% of the time this season, they've run the ball, and they've gotten 65% of their runs on the ground. But they're going to be facing a Missouri defense that, not surprisingly, is very good against the run. But I think when you get this far, you use the old John Wooden theory. I think Gus Malzahn's not going to really adjust his game plan too much. And the John Wooden theory I'm talking about is you worry most about what your team does best rather than try to attack the weaknesses of your opponent. So I look for Gus to not really adjust it much. He's going to go strength against strength. Not going to have as much success as he did all year long, but I think he'll stick with it. We'll have enough success. And I think both of these teams are going to run the ball a pretty lot, including from the quarterback position.
Okay, you make good points there, Joe Duffy. My official pick on this game will be Missouri on the money line, which you can get like plus 110, plus 115. And your official pick is going to be on the under at 58.
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay, we'll see how this turns out. Thanks so much, Joe.